A new episode of our original docuseries, The Evidence Room, is streaming tonight at 6:30 right here on KPRC 2+. This week, we are examining the case involving the murders of Elizabeth Pena and Jennifer Ertman. KPRC 2 investigator Robert Arnold is back with us to talk about this case. Robert, thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely. This is the 30th anniversary of these murders, and these are two murders that left a scar on Houston. They are horrifying in so many ways. We're talking about two young girls who were walking home. They were at a pool party. They were walking home, getting close to curfew, so they took a shortcut. That shortcut put them in the path of a group of gang members who were all hyped up because they had just finished initiating a new member. And they just attacked them, and they tortured them, and they were sexually assaulted, and they were murdered. And it just, when I say it horrified the city, it really horrified the city. And I remember it because I was in college at the time, and my parents lived in a neighborhood that was very close to that. And it was just like, you know, my God, what is going on?
Which part of town?
Northwest.
Northwest.
Northwest. They were actually, it was T.C. Jester Park.
Okay.
So
yeah.
White Oak Bayou, T.C. Jester Park. There's still a memorial to those two beautiful young ladies. There are two benches with their names on them.
And 30 years this year.
Yes, this month, actually. This month. Yes.
Looking at the evidence, it must have been very tough.
Oh, it's horrific. And one of the things that we just can't show everything that's still in this particular case, because it's very graphic what happened to these young girls. I mean, dental records had to be used for identification in some cases, but yes, the crime scene photos are there. Some of the pieces of clothing that were taken from the girls, jewelry and a belt that was used to strangle the girls, those pieces, those are all still in evidence, and those all became very strong pieces of evidence in the case against the 6 men who were eventually convicted of these murders.
Wow, 6 total.
There were 6 there. There were actually 8 there. There were 2 more guys there when this all started. 2 of the guys said, you know, we're not doing this. And they left. They didn't stop it, but they left, and they did at least become witnesses for the prosecution.
How old were the girls? How old were Jennifer
14
and
Elizabeth?
16. 14 and 16 at the time.
Yeah.
This episode, when you're looking back on these cases, what can we expect throughout the show?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, we meet with the detective, one of the main detectives on the case, and how this all came together, because it was originally a missing persons case because the girls were not found right away. They disappeared. They were, like I said, they were walking home from a pool party.
So days, we're talking days.
Yes, like 4 days. So it starts as a missing persons case. You're going to hear how that all came about, how they got the call. It was an anonymous tip. That anonymous caller eventually revealed themselves and became a main witness against the 6 men who were convicted on this. But one of the other things, too, is, like I've talked about, we try not to focus solely on the murders. We try and talk about cases that have actually had positive impact. And as awful as this was, this case really did advance victims' rights in the state of Texas. Even if you were here in Houston at the time these murders were committed, a lot of people don't realize this is the first case where you had a victim impact statement given in court in Harris County. Now, not in the country, but in Harris County.
And that's regular and routine today.
Now you see it all the time, but this was the first time in Harris County you had a victim impact statement. And this is one of the main cases that got the state to change its policy regarding family members of victims witnessing executions of those who had killed their loved ones.
So it touches on quite
a few things, yes. And you're going to learn all about that when we go into all those details tonight.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yep.
Episode 18, The Devil in Them, premieres tonight at 6:30 exclusively on the KPRC 2+ live stream.